Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world as I am posting this video. It will be labeled October 29th because I'm posting it in time for October 29th, where I am in the world. But depending on where you are, the 29th may have already come and gone, or you might stumble upon this video at some future time. So I just want to say happy birthday to all the October 29th babies, and happy birthday to you if it's your birthday when you're watching this. I'm setting the intention that this be a message for the next 24 hours from whenever you happen to see it, okay? So it'll be labeled for the 29th because that's when I'm posting, but you'll hear it when you're meant to hear it. Okay, my darlings. And the card we have, coming up is the King of Pentacles. This is a good card. I mean, they're all good cards. I don't want to say any of the cards are bad cards. But this is one that might give you a little pep in your step. King of Pentacles, traditionally, because it's a court card, can be seen as a person in a situation. But it's not limited to it being a person in a situation. So I'm going to tell you what this card means for me in my readings and like what intuitive vibes or intuitive energy I'm picking up around it for this particular video. But traditionally, this could be a Capricorn, a Virgo, or a Taurus. So some of you might have a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus that you might be dealing with or working with. Now, it could be their sun, their moon, their rising, or their Venus. And that's where we get thrown off because we don't always know people's placements, right? We don't always know what somebody's moon or rising is. But it could be, keep in mind, it could be moon, rising, or Venus. It doesn't necessarily have to be their sun sign. If you have earth sign placements, you might be focusing on those areas of your life right now. You might have some irons in the fire in those areas of your life, some options or some things that you might be investing in or working on. Now, this is a card that personally, for me in my readings, has a special meaning. The first time I ever touched a deck of cards, the first time I ever shuffled a deck, the first time I ever pulled a card, it was King of Pentacles, and I wasn't really sure what that meant. And over the years, reading for people, I've seen the card come up, and I realize for me in my readings, it comes up with a very specific message. When King of Pentacles comes up for me in my readings, you are being presented with an opportunity. It's an opportunity that excites you. You think, wow, this is really great. I would totally love this. Kind of seems like a dream come true. But the person extending this opportunity to me, I must have fooled them a little bit. I must have made them think that I'm better than I actually am. And so they have this super positive impression of me. But if I were to embrace and accept this opportunity, then what's going to end up happening is that, they're not going to want to work with me. They're not going to want to deal with me. They're going to get to know me better and they're going to fire me, or they're going to say, never mind, I changed my mind, or I don't want to be around you, or, and that's negative ego. That's imposter syndrome. Okay, none of that is true. That's the negative ego scaring us out of something and making us push something away, because negative ego hates change, even when the change is good. Now, for some of you, maybe it's not something involving somebody else, right? Like, for example, maybe it's not a relationship where you think, oh, if this person gets to know about my past, if they get to know about my history, or once they meet my family, they're going to change their mind. I'm not going to go through that heartache. I'm just going to, politely decline, or I'm just going to ignore this person till they go away and they stop trying, because if they get to know about my past, or if they meet my family, they're not going to want me. For some of you, it could be that kind of a situation. For others, it could be a job offer. Oh, wow, this job sounds great, but man, it's not going to be good enough. It could be another opportunity. It could be a living arrangement. It could be an invitation to something. And maybe for some of you, there's not another person involved. For me, it was just learning tarot. And I thought, well, maybe I'm being pushed to start a tarot business. Maybe that's where I'm being guided right now. And the first card I pulled was King of Pentacles. And now looking back, I'm like, yeah, it was basically telling me you're doubting yourself, but you're ready. Like, this wouldn't be here right now if you weren't ready. So it could be a person, a relationship. It could be an endeavor, something that you're starting on your own. It could be a project that you're wanting to do, an interest that you're wanting to pursue. And the ego tells you, you're not good enough. You're not going to be good at this. You're not going to succeed at this. But the King of Pentacles says, look, if you weren't ready for it, it wouldn't be here now. King of Pentacles is the Midas touch. The works of your hands are blessed. The things that you're going to get involved in, the things that you're going to be working on, they're going to give you a positive return. You're starting to think in a more productive, efficient way. You're beginning to recognize your gifts, your talents, the resources and assets that you have available to you that you're able to put to work for yourself so that you're able to generate income, generate security, generate stability. For some of you, you're going to begin working on something that over the next 6 months is going to turn into passive income, where you're going to feel like you're a semi-retired person. You're generating income, but you're not generating income in a way where you have to work 9 to 5. Even as a self-employed person, right? Self-employed and passive income are two different things. A self-employed person still has to work. A self-employed person still has to put in hours. But you could be doing something over the next 6 months, and I say the next 6 months because we're in back-to-back eclipses. I take that back. We could say over the next 12 months. But some of you could be getting involved in something that's generating passive income, where you're able to enjoy life and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And so I just kind of get this feeling with this King of Pentacles of like, it's time for upgrades all around. I also feel that some of you who have been on a spiritual path, this happens. And this is something that it makes me sad to see it. But I feel when people get pulled into spirituality, even religion, even traditional religion, there's two extremes. It's either the extreme of I'm a spiritual person, so I'm taking a vow of poverty, I'm rejecting the pleasures of the earth, I'm rejecting the vanity of money, and I don't need those things because I'm focused on spirituality, and it's just super basic, super minimalistic, super super I guess poor, a poor existence, or just kind of struggling with money and telling yourself that that's just the way it is because you're a good person, or because you've chosen spirituality, and because you're not a money hungry, materialistic person. That's the one extreme. The other extreme, I call it the Joel Osteen gospel. No disrespect to Joel Osteen. I think some of the things he posts are very inspirational. When you just kind of take the sermon for what it is. And I'm not putting him down. And he's not the only one. There's other ones too. It's like this thing of open your heart to Jesus and you're going to have millions of dollars. He had written a book, and I was reading the book, and I kind of stopped. I couldn't really finish it. Again, no disrespect to him, but he was praying over his sons. In the book, he was talking about how he's praying over his sons, and how he prayed over one of his sons that make him the most famous name around the whole world, to glorify your name, and make him the leader. I don't know. It was something it was so extreme. The other extreme is if you're a spiritual or holy person, then everybody is bowing to your feet, or you have a ton of money. I have a new little space heater in my office. It's kicking on. That's what you might be hearing in the background. Oh, Maxie, hold on. I don't want him to pull down. Hold on. So the other extreme, as I was saying, it's just like you're going to have millions of dollars and it's going to rain down money on you, right? If you're a spiritual, holy person, then God is just going to love you so much that he's going to shower money down on you. Those are the two extremes. And so what I feel is happening with this King of Pentacles is that a lot of you are going to start to get a balanced understanding of money and money as blessing and the physical realm and the spiritual realm and how to maybe pay your blessings forward. And so some of you, and this is coming up again, this is something that keeps coming up for me in my meditations. Like I feel like this keeps coming to me through spirit. And some of you might remember, I kept having previously, I kept seeing this message of like big groups of people moving around and like changing places and energy, geographical energy changing or shifting, and certain groups of people flocking together like based on ideologies. And I think we see that happening right now. There's a lot of people immigrating. There's a lot of people leaving, you know, situations. There's a lot of people, even here in the United States, where we've been blessed and lucky enough not to have the challenges that's happening around the rest of the world. A lot of people are moving here because of economics, because of ideologies, because of belief systems. And I kept seeing this, that like people kind of, you know, moving around in this way or like relocating. I saw mass relocations. And now, similarly, it keeps popping up, coming to me through my meditations. I see communities being rebuilt. And I see it being rebuilt by the people, by the citizens, by its inhabitants. It's like, you know, somebody is coming together and saying, this is what we need, right? Here are my resources. Who has this resource? Who has that resource? Who can donate finances? Who can donate time? Who can donate their skill set? And so I see communities being rebuilt, people being helped. And, you know, before maybe we think about how we want to be blessed financially, and we think, oh, I'm going to buy my parents a house, I'm going to buy my best friend a car, I'm going to do this for this person, I'm going to do that for that person. And don't get me wrong, you may still do those things, right? Depending on how your blessings have come in. But you may be turning your attention more towards who really needs my help right now. Who really is underserved? Who really is truly in need that I can help? And so I feel like a lot of people are going to have blessings coming their way. I feel the economy is changing and shifting. I feel the way that we do business is changing and shifting. I feel like some people are going to have great abundance through these changes and transitions. Even when we had the Great Depression, there were people who made a lot of money during the Great Depression, believe it or not. So I believe as we're transitioning and changing, there are going to be certain people that they're going to have a lot of financial gain, a lot of financial blessing. And I feel like they're going to put it to work in terms of like upgrading environment, upgrading community, upgrading society. So I feel some of you may be kind of re-examining your relationship with money, your view of money, your view of wealth, and like how it works, and maybe coming into a more balanced understanding versus an extremist understanding. And I feel like a lot of you who are going to be over the next 6 months or over the next year in a position where you're able to help and donate and give, you're not just looking about like, okay, well, you know, how much money can I give this charity, or how much money can I give this person? You're looking at like, how can I fix this problem? How can I help break this cycle? or what is this community in need of to help certain people break out of these cycles or these patterns or these misbeliefs, right? Whatever it might be. So I feel like you're looking at it not just about, oh, what can I do or how much can I give in this situation, but what could I do to minimize people needing this help or being in this situation where they need this help. I've been looking a lot into orphanages, and I came across a program that I thought was very inspiring. And so basically, this was a program that was helping mothers, single mothers, specifically those who have been widowed, whose husbands have died in battle, died in war. It's in another country, actually in Armenia or Artsakh. And so what they've been doing is a lot of these mothers are on the verge of homelessness, and they're on the verge of having to put their children into orphanages because their husband is gone. They no longer have a provider. So there's an organization now that's teaching these mothers job skills, work skills, helping with childcare so that they can get on their feet and they can have an income and they can stay together, right? They don't have to put their child in the orphanage. So instead of saying, okay, well, and they're helping the orphanages too, but stopping that cycle, right? Here's a kid who doesn't have to end up in the orphanage. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, you may still help orphanages, but you might also think of like, how can we help, or how can we set things up to minimize the need for someone to put their child up for adoption or up to the state, award of the state. And that's just one example. It could be so many other things, right? It could be other causes or other things that are near and dear to your heart. And so it could be that these are things that you're looking at. These are things that you're thinking of, like, how can I help bring about change? How can I invest my income, my personal income, my personal profit, my personal blessing into bringing about positive change? And so, again, for some of you, this could just be being in your wealth, being in your abundance. But I feel a lot of people are going to be re-examining their view of money, their relationship with money, and being the hands of God, right? We always say, why doesn't God do this? Why doesn't God do that? Well, what are we doing? We're just sitting around letting things happen. So I just feel like some of you are really looking at, like, how can I be of service, or how can I be a blessing on a community level. You may want to check out the weekly forecasts if you haven't already. Those are linked in the description. Love readings are linked in the description. If you would like to schedule a private reading with me, there's a link in the description of the video where you can schedule a private reading with me. If you are looking for an opportunity to I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I am really glad that you guys are able to receive the message and to check it out. And I thank you for being here. Take care and be well, my darlings. Sorry for a little cut here in the recording. I had a little interruption. I was just going to recommend a couple of cool things here in the description of the video. I'm catching up on private readings because it's been way too cold in my office. I've gotten frozen out of my office, but I finally got a cool little space heater that was very inexpensive. I don't make any money off space heater sales or anything, but I'll have that linked in the description if you're looking to find something, if you have like a small space that you're trying to heat. And I was going to say, I'm going to post a song. You guys know how I am. I really like to support talent, undiscovered talent. And art. So Fast Heart Mart, you guys have heard me say that I really appreciate his music. He has a cool Halloween song which isn't new, it's newly released. But my understanding is he wrote it back in 2009. I just thought it was a really cool song. I'll link that in the description. I'll link the Bandcamp thing too if you want to support an artist, independent artist. Again, I don't get any profit. I don't get any cut of any of that, but I'm just going to put that in there. I'll also share it in the community tab. But I thank you guys for watching. I thank you for being here, and I hope you all have a fabulous day. And I hope you'll come back for tomorrow's message. Be well, my darlings.